Hey guys, back again. Looking at a study on text neck, as if we needed any more convincing that texting and using smartphones was hard on our necks, but obviously hard on our kids' necks. Just wanted to briefly roll through some of the findings here, and then some of the recommendations these authors give. This is called text neck, an epidemic of the modern era of cell phones, ? It's from the Spine Journal, June 2017. So, spine surgeons have noticed the rise of patients in their offices complaining of neck and upper back pain. That's not hard to believe. They say extensive cell phone use and postures can cause spondylitic changes, wearing out of the vertebrae, consistent with an aged spine. But now that's being found in younger and younger age groups. This includes disc herniations, kyphotic alignment, meaning rounded off like that, and abnormal x-rays and MRIs. So, there's some interesting numbers here about how the head being flexed forward increases the weight that the cervical spine has to fight. In other words, as your head comes forward, up goes the functional weight of your head. So in neutral, your head should weigh 10 to 12 pounds. When you get that head flexed forward 45 degrees, it increases the functional weight of your skull, of your head, up to 49 pounds. Now, I'm not reading the entire table to you, but they found that the average degree of forward flexion in these kids and these subjects of the study was 45 degrees. So on average, your kids out there and you are increasing the weight of your head to basically 50 pounds if that neck is having to fight against. So what does that do? That wears out your neck. They looked at 7,000 young adults, 20 to 24 over a 5-year period, and they all, well not all, but mostly it was super common for them to report persistent neck pain and upper back pain when they were text messaging. And it also showed an increase in shoulder pain, numbness, and tingling into the hands and fingers in the ones who spent the most time texting. So, of course, the authors experienced quite a concern over the consequences of this. Their quote is saying, persistent, prolonged, forward flex neck position may lead to anterior ligamentous contractures, accelerating cervical disc degeneration and cervical kyphosis. That means subluxations. Because putting your head like this creates subluxations and now your body is stuck with this misalignment and things wear out. So, some of their recommendations, pretty common sense, but hold your phone up in front of you as best you can when you're text messaging. Thought this was interesting, as interesting as this can get. Use 2 hands to text, 2 hands and 2 thumbs. Keep things more symmetrical, particularly between the shoulder blades and the back. So, you know, as you're holding this up, pull the shoulders back and text. Of course, they recommend spending as little time working on computers as you can. If you have to, use elevated desks, elevate the screen so that they're directly in front of your face and you don't have to be caught looking down all the time. Laptops do get those devices that allow you to somehow separate the screen and keyboard. Sometimes that's a dock that you set it down into. Sometimes, of course, nowadays you can separate the screen and the keyboards a lot. And then always perform, stretches and exercises as you're able to help strengthen, stretch the cervical musculature and the upper back musculature. So this will be things like foam rollers. A lot of folks have heard of that, using lacrosse balls or something to get in there and really mash the tissues. Rolls to traction your head back as you lay back on your back. This book right here is an amazing resource. It's called Desk Bound, Standing Up in a Sitting World. It's by Kelly Starrett. should be able to say his name correctly, but I've really marked this thing up. It's got a lot of excellent ways to work out tight muscles and tendons and fascia. So check that out once again, desk bound. So it's a fight worth fighting, I'd say. So do what you can. Any little bit helps, and particularly any little bit in our kids helps as you look down the road 10 or 15 or 20 years. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.